Okay, let's go.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Around the Rim Radio. What does Trae Young being traded to the Wizards mean for the Wizards, and what does it mean for the Hawks moving forward? Let's find out. All right, so this is the Shams report that came out. So the Atlanta Hawks did trade Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. I mean, I'm not going to lie. At first glance, sometimes trades will come out and you're like, oh, there's got to be more to it because, sometimes they leave out the picks or a couple other pieces, but this was it. This was the trade. The Wizards got Trae Young, who is a star in the league, for McCollum and Kispert. I think the Wizards got a good deal here, and the reason that Trae Young wanted to go to the Washington Wizards, this is what I personally heard and saw, is the Washington Wizards have a lot of cap room in this upcoming offseason, so they can go get a star player or, a star player, a couple role players. I'm not sure exactly how much cap they have, but we're going to go ahead and get into that in the next part of this video. But I just wanted to show you guys this trade, and this is just kind of crazy because at the beginning of the season, you weren't really thinking Trae Young would get traded. And then as the last week, 2 weeks go by, Trae Young getting traded is now like the top headline of all NBA trade news. And it happened, and it happened very quickly. So Trae Young definitely got what he asked for. All right, so as you can see, it is not currently updated, but CJ McCollum was making 30, call it 30 million for the sake of the video. And then Corey Kispert is making 14, so that is 46 million, about right there. Trae Young does make $46 million a year, so essentially Trae Young, Kispert, replace that with Trae Young, you get one player instead of two, but you're paying out the same salary. And then you look here, I mean, they're paying Alex Sarr, and for next year, Chris Middleton's an expiring contract, so 33 million gone. McCollum's traded, Kispert's traded, Alex Sarr, 12 million, nothing. Trey Johnson, 8 million, that's nothing. Koulibaly, 9 million, that's nothing. Branham, not even on the books. Carrington, 5 million, nothing. This is just absurd right here. For next year, they're gonna have a lot of cap room, because it really helps you out with Chris Middleton not being there next year. You don't have to. That's 34 million that you can put towards a great. You can go get an OG Anunoby for 34 million. You can go get a Mikal Bridge. That sort of player. You can go get like a Jimmy Butler. Like you can go get like a star player, like not a superstar. You're not going to go get Wemby or Jokic or Curry or someone like that, but you can get a good player with 34 million, or if you want to split that up, you can go get two $15 million a year players, go get two solid role players, and then go get another minimum guy, give your team some depth. I mean, honestly, the Wizards are set up very, very nicely. And then also, when you look here, if it's green, it's player, if it's blue, it's team. These are all team options. I mean, they don't have to pick up Koulibaly, which I assume they would. They're going to pick up Sarr. But, I mean, everyone right here is even a team option. So if they're like, hey, Cam Whitmore, we don't want you. You're not worth the $5.5 million. You can take that $5.5 million and go get someone else. Same with like AJ Johnson. Keyshawn George has been good. So, but like the Wizards, I'm not even joking, not even saying this because of the trade. I mean, it is because of the trade. But now that I'm looking actually at this cap sheet, you got Trae Young, who's a star. You have upcoming star players. Alex Sarr is amazing. Koulibaly's going to get there. Carrington's not bad. Whitmore's a baller. Keyshawn George has popped out this year. And then you have all this cap room to go play with. If you're the Washington Wizards, you're set up really nice for the next 3 to 5 years with cap room. As of now, I'm sure they're going to get players that are expensive. Their contracts are going to grow. But even the next 2 years, at least, I mean, you're set up very nicely if you are the Washington Wizards. So this is very good to see. But yeah, I mean, I would expect the Washington Wizards, I mean, why couldn't they creep into the playoffs in the next 2 years, 3 years. Let him build. Let him make some more trades, get some more signings, go through a summer or two, get some off-season signings. Wizards could be right in there, especially being in the Eastern Conference. I mean, there's just not a lot of competition over there, honestly. Wizards are Trae Young, a couple 3-and-D wing defenders, and maybe one more solid big man, and maybe another star player. I mean, like, again, I'm not sure who the upcoming free agents are, but the Wizards definitely could go get somebody if they're out there. All right, and then right here is the upcoming free agents, just to kind of see what realistic targets the Washington Wizards could go for. So, LeBron James, who knows? Is he going to retire? Is he going to take a pay cut? Is he going to stay with the Lakers? That's not a realistic one, though. I don't see why the Wizards would go get a 42-year-old LeBron James and have him be their guy. Trae Young, of course, he's going to sign an extension with the Wizards. Let's see here. Yeah, so Zach LaVine. I don't see it. I don't see why they would do that. James Harden, they got Trae Young. They don't need him. But, I mean, they already had Porzingis in Atlanta, so I don't see why he would go to Washington, back to Washington. But look, you could go get some, like, role player type guys. Like, you could go get, hey, we're going to have Trae Young, we're going to pair him with Andrew Wiggins, then we're going to get Anthony Simons off the bench with a high flyer John Collins, who I believe he played with in Atlanta, so he can do that as well. Jonathan Kuminga's there. I mean, Rui Hachimura, if he doesn't get traded by the Lakers or re-signed, that wouldn't be a bad fit. He'd go back to Washington, actually. But there's not really much star power out here in this free agency that is realistic for the Wizards. I mean, but they could go get some solid players. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein, you could look for him to go to the Wizards, play with Trae Young. Reason because the Oklahoma City Thunder are eventually going to hit an apron. Hartenstein makes $29-30 million a year. $29 million right here. So he makes $29 million a year. When you got Shea coming up with a big one, you got Chat, you got J-Dub, you got all these other players you want to keep and sign. Hartenstein might be one of the first ones to go. So, you could watch for him to go to the Wizards with Trae Young. But, yeah, I mean, you could see him fill out this roster. They could have a solid roster of Trae Young and a lot of good role players and have some good depth over there. So, Hachimura might go. Dort's another one to watch for the OKC Thunder. He could go to the Wizards. I don't think that'd be a bad fit. Another 3-and-D player. Mitchell Robinson's a good name. Like I said, they need another backup center behind Alex Sarr. Mitchell Robinson is a backup center. Honestly, just with his injury history, he can start. He's not like the worst starting center if he were to, but he's okay. Austin Reeves. I mean, they could have a Trae Young, Austin Reeves backcourt if the Lakers don't re-sign him at all. Kobe White, Rob Williams would be a name to watch. So I would just watch a lot of these like role player types. I mean, obviously some players are more than role players in this case, but I would just watch for the Washington Wizards potentially filling out using their cap space on some role type players like some of the players I just named, and then maybe making another trade next season for a star to get with Trae Young, taking those role players and sending them in that trade, or maybe the summer after that. And then over to the Hawks and Anthony Davis side of things. So I've been hearing a lot more talk of Anthony Davis going to the Hawks. In my last video, I did talk about how it wouldn't make sense to trade Trae Young somewhere and then trade for Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis needs a Trae Young and Trae Young needs an Anthony Davis type player. They don't need literally each other, but you get what I mean. But now that the Hawks did trade Trae Young, I just don't see why they would trade for Anthony Davis. I mean, he's 32, 33 years old. He's been way more injured this year and last year than he's ever been in his career. He's done nothing on the Dallas Mavericks. He's proven over his time that he cannot be the 1A guy. He can be the 1B guy, but he cannot be the 1A guy. He cannot be the guy to lead your team to a championship. And that's kind of how I feel about Trae Young right now. I don't think he can be the guy, but I think he can be like the second guy on a team. So it would have made a lot of sense to pair these guys up in Atlanta outside of Porzingis, because Porzingis and AD are essentially the same position, the same type of player, but I do think AD is better than Porzingis. I mean, I know it's not listed here, but like there could be a slight chance that Anthony Davis gets traded to the Wizards. Would I be crazy to think that? I don't know. You guys can let me know down in the comments below. But am I crazy for thinking AD to the Wizards is on the table? Because, I mean, why wouldn't he? The Wizards are not afraid to make deals. Obviously, the Dallas Mavericks are not afraid to make deals. Um, the Hawks just traded Trae Young there. I mean, I could see that happening. But the Hawks, I think they have a good team. I think they have a good team now, which is why AD might want to go to the Hawks because outside of Trae Young, you still got, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson's taken a huge step, Nikhil Alexander Walker. I would assume maybe Alexander Walker would go in that deals, but honestly, the trade package for Anthony Davis, if the Hawks were to trade for him, would probably be Porzingis, Zachary Ricochet, because they've talked about trading him as well, and then maybe a couple other small pieces if they need to make up some money. Maybe a second round pick. I mean, I wouldn't really see a pick going out because it's like we're trading one bag of damaged goods for another bag of damaged goods. So, but I would assume that would be the trade. We can see what Anthony Davis. Does he request a trade? Does he just get traded? Are the Mavericks really going to give up on him this soon into his tenure with the Dallas Mavericks? We're going to see. Today, as I'm recording this, is January 8th. The trade deadline is a little less than a month away. I think it's like the 4th, 5th, or 6th or something like that into February. So I know it's that first week into February. So we'll just have to see what the Mavericks and Hawks are going to do, if they're going to do anything. But is AD going to get traded to the Raptors? I mean, that would be interesting because you got Scotty Barnes over there, who kind of plays that power forward position. So do you move him to small forward? Do you have like Barnes, AD, and Jakob Poeltl? I mean, who knows? I just don't think that the Raptors would be as good of a fit for AD. I mean, maybe with Emmanuel quickly and stuff, but I could see him going to the Hawks, or I don't know. I think the Washington Wizards is on the table. So overall, this is very interesting for the NBA. I'm very interested to see what the Wizards are going to do with Trae Young. Is it going to be a failure? Is it going to be worth it? Only time will tell, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Alright everybody, I really hope you guys just enjoyed that video. If you have anything you'd like me to talk about, please leave your comments down below. I will be happy to answer them and talk about them in the videos.